Hey everyone, it's Ryan for the Rocky Mountain Cigar Show here, broadcasting to you from the Smoke Inn Studios here at the Rocky Mountain Cigar Show. Tried something new and failed miserably. This is why I don't try new intros. This is why I just try to stick with just the basic intro. I try to change it up to make everybody's life happy and feel a little bit different. And I ended up just putting my foot in my mouth when I actually have Abe from Smoke Inn on the show here to be our guest tonight. So big show tonight, everybody. Happy to have Abe on, like I had just said. Abe's a good friend of the show, been with me since practically literally the beginning of this. Saw something in the show, and obviously now this is the I can't speak tonight, guys. If any of you saw my post on Smoke Inn, this has been the hardest year of my life in sales. I am just marble mouth. My mind is complete mush. I've been so looking forward to these shows as just kind of a way to just completely break away from everything else I have going on with work. Family life is great, but work is obviously, work. So, but anyways, huge shout out to all the sponsors that remotely make this show possible. We've got BAMF Cigars, ROCF Cigars. Got to fix the second I in that. I understand it's coming. I promise it's coming. We've got Kristoff Cigars, Sagrado Cigars, Micallef Cigars, Big Sky Cigars, Cornell and Diehl Pipe Tobacco, La Aurora Cigars, West Tampa Tobacco, as well as Steve over at Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. And tonight we are going to be drinking the Axe and the Oak bourbon, and I'm only doing this. Well, we'll get into the "What are you smoking tonight" segment here in a second. So, anyways, if you're going to be in the area here in Colorado on July 26th, we would love to have you at our event. This event is sponsored by, last year we had 28 different companies. We were able to raise 30 grand for a wounded warrior to be able to receive a dog. Well, guess what? This year, we are giving that dog and presenting the dog to the wounded warrior at the event. We are doing this to benefit Shadow Warriors Project, which is headed up by Mark Osgeist. If you're remotely familiar with the whole Benghazi thing or the movie 13 Hours, he's depicted in that. He was at Benghazi. He was one of the Shadow Warriors. Absolutely remarkable story. He has over 20 pieces of shrapnel still in his body. It's $150 for the ticket, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. All-inclusive bar. We've got appetizers. This is not a dinner, but we're going to have a lot of appetizers. We got complimentary cigars. Last year, we gave away 9 cigars. We've got a challenge coin. We're going to have live music as well as a live and silent auction. So this is going to be an absolutely fantastic event. Last year, we had these custom-made glasses. Let's see if it'll work. Oh, so this is 2 years ago. So we've got these custom-made glasses, challenge coins. So all you got to do is go to eventbrite.com and click on the tickets for Rocky Mountain Cigar Night. I am flustered. I feel like I've got like somebody big and important coming on. I'm getting marble mouth. I'm usually not this bad. But anyways, nobody obviously comes on the show to see me or really even listen to me talk, even though I appreciate everybody watching. Everyone comes here for the guests. So let's go ahead and bring in the man of the hour, the legend in the industry, the creator of the Great Smoke. And my gosh, what the hell is wrong with everybody? If you guys have not been to the Great Smoke yet, it is now a family function. I can't wait to bring my kids to the Great Smoke. Like it is that much fun. And Abe, what a year you had this year.
You might have been pushing it a little too far with my kids. Maybe when your kids get of age, but yeah.
Well, bring them down. We could dump them off with some family. We can.
There you go.
Smoke. But yes, when my daughter becomes of age, my wife smokes. I'm hoping that my daughter will smoke as
well. There you go. So, pal. How you doing?
Dude, I am. My mind is absolute mush. I don't know how I'm even surviving. I feel like I'm on autopilot. I feel like you, a month before the Great Smoke, you're just drained. All your hard work is coming to fruition.
There's no time to be drained, man. We are churning away. There's let me put it this way: the pressure stops because there's a lot of deadlines that now that we don't have to meet when it's over, but the pressure and the work never stops.
No, it certainly does not.
And we're okay with it. We like it.
Well, again, like, and I ask you this in person, and you always make it seem so easy, and it's absolutely not. If anybody's ever been there, seen the virtual, all right, the virtual doesn't do this thing justice. Okay, it's things like watching the movie Fight Club. The only way to actually experience it is to be there a couple of years in a row, because you just see how this thing grows. And when you watch Abe, he's running around like crazy. But then you go up to him after and you go, dude, how do you pull it off? You're just like, just a lot of hard work, and that's it. Like it's just like it's a well-oiled machine at this.
It's hard work, and I'm blessed with a good team. I mean, let's be real. I mean, granted, I'll pretty much guarantee you that we pull this off with the smallest crew probably of any event ever. I guarantee you there are 50 or 100 people events that have more people involved than we have doing the Great Smoke. But, we got most of it down to a science. A lot of it now is just decision making and timing and planning. But I got a good team. I really got a good team, and they're on point, and it really helps make my life easier. I can come up with a lot of things, but I need a lot of people to help execute them. And in the end, it's what it always comes down to is execution. So, we're pretty proud of it. I think for years we called it America's Great Cigar Event, but I think legitimately now it's the best cigar event you're probably going to ever go to, because look, it's a hybrid. Most people who do cigar events, it's basically anybody who's old enough can remember the term what a herf is. It's just basically a gathering of people smoking cigars, where we've kind of really made it like a production. It really is. It's like a production. You're getting a show, you're getting an experience, you're getting activities, you're getting so much.
Soleil with cigars.
Yeah, you're getting so much more, and it's just the next level of cigar events. And no one's coming close. I've been around the world, around the country, to many cigar events, and not that they're bad or whatever, they're just different, but no one's coming to the level of production that we're putting in our Great Smoke event. I think that's why you're seeing it grow exponentially every year, because everybody goes home so blown away, and next year they're coming back with 2, 3, 4, 5 friends.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the other awesome things about it is just like it's a buying event, right? But the event is not buying. The event is the event. The beauty of the event is you get to buy cigars at great discount. The event itself is not the ability to. Does that make sense? Kind of how I'm saying it?
Yeah, most of these events. So we were actually backwards. Most of these events are geared for being a selling event. I mean, that's really kind of what they're for, other than cigar aficionados event, because retailers are involved and they don't sell cigars. So, they charge an exorbitant ticket price, and that's how they make their money. And they get all the cigars for free. So it's like, outside of the setup and the hall and all that stuff, it's a low expense to them. And that's where their margin is. And just like us, I believe, unless it's changed, a portion of it goes to charity. So, it's an altruistic event as well. But for years, we were always focused on the experience, and not really focused on being sales. And it really wasn't until the last few years, because, look, let's face it, at the end of the day, these cigar companies who help make these events happen, a lot of them don't just help make the cigar packages, but they sponsor stuff, they do stuff, and pre and post events. At the end of the day, they love doing these kind of marketing promotion things, but listen, no one wants to lose money doing an event like this, and these guys have a cost to come, even though most of them are still in Florida. So we kind of just streamlined and got it to where those people who are really coming down, because a lot of people really do come down to this event, they also want to take advantage of the special deals and offers and the cool little deals or swags that every manufacturer will have. We just streamlined it, a couple of years ago. I think it was after the digital experience. I think it was Mardi Gras Madness was the first year we ever made like a catalog where people can kind of be able to see stuff before they go buy it, see pricing and stuff like that. And last year we really streamlined the packaging and the timing so people didn't have to waste time going around to get cigars. So they really had more time to interact with their favorite manufacturers. And if they wanted to take advantage of any deals, they had more time to do it. So we kind of did it more backwards than everybody and than most other people who do these types of events. But it's working out. And, we're already, I ain't lying, and we're already working on 2026. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're working on 2025.
And
but we already have,
I'm sure.
Well, right now, 2026 is as far as we're going out. We have actually a date for 2026. We know the theme, and we're working on the swag for 2026 already.
Okay, so I got to ask, are we ever going to get a Paul dedicated Disney thing? Unlicensed Disney thing?
Highly unlikely, because Disney sues public schools. So, I mean, we're not. Oh, yeah. There was an incident where a school did a charity fundraising thing. I think at the end, the PR, they ended up dropping the suitor. But because, Disney really doesn't make these decisions. They have law firms who that's all they do all day is look for people who are breaching, copyright infringement or intellectual property infringement. But there was this true story. School did a charity fundraiser where they showed like Frozen or some movie to raise money for the school. And it was a Disney movie. And they sued the school.
Oh, that is, boy, that when you have as much money as God, that's pretty bad. Because I mean, the reality of it is they're stealing from the local community. It's at the school.
That's tough. That's some tough public relations right there.
Yeah.
Zandra, the date is March 15th for 2025. So,
yeah, Disney's getting a lot of bad press around here, but not to get political on anything. But so we were talking about one of the things that I thought you did absolutely fantastic this year. It was the box. I loved it. Everybody I talked to loved it. It was so awesome because then the experience really got to be the experience, and there was no rush to sit down or find something. People got to take a cigar out and then go to the tables that they really wanted to go to. So how did that work out this year from a manufacturer standpoint and yours versus previous years?
Well, for us, other than the fact that that wasn't an inexpensive box. So, the ticket prices did not reflect the increase in cost in that box, but it was an experimental thing for us. We kind of toyed with this concept. And truth be told, we've known about Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival's concept of giving it the cigars when people come in and there's no good going around getting cigars. And we've toyed with it for about 5 years. But, when you're doing something for 17 years straight, 18 years straight, it's a, you don't want to fuck things up. And it was a very nervous settling. And, if you talk to manufacturers, half them love it, half them hate it. The manufacturers that love to sell and do promotions, they love it. Some of the other ones don't like it because, one, it's more work for them. They have to know ahead of time what they're going to bring. They have to be a little bit more organized. And for some of these guys, just getting the basic level of organization and follow through is a task. So, but overall, everybody loved it. Consumers loved it. It was not a waste of time. It wasn't just going in lines for 60, 45 or 60 minutes. Gave everybody a lot less stress time because they're rushing through to get their cigars so quickly so they can enjoy the event. And that just didn't exist. Manufacturers actually got a lot more one-on-one time because they weren't stuck with these lines that were people just going around and getting their, event cigars. So, we could have put them in a Ziploc bag and handed them to everybody.
That's not your style.
It's not my style.
You're more Apple.
So,
you're more Apple than you are, Walmart.
Yeah, so it wasn't my style. So we tested it out with this box, and we're already working on. I'm supposed to have a prototype in about 6 days. But we're working on the box for 2025 because we had to make some changes in the design. Packing those took forever because of the intricate little tabs. So we're gonna have like a quick release flap so we can load them quicker. And then the trays were so narrow. It was such a narrow edge. So when we got the prototype, it looked great. But the problem is you didn't realize, well, when you're looking at the trays, there was no weight on the top. So by the time it got put in ashtray and the cutter and the drum and all that stuff on top, that top shelf was pretty heavy, and it ships to us with no cigars in the bottom. So some of those weight of those began to crack the corners of the edge. So we made the edges around the trays like 1/8 of an inch, so it had more weight and support. So little changes like that we made, but our biggest thing was we had a huge issue with the fairgrounds. That's not 100% completely ironed out yet. And it's one of the reasons why we don't have a contract, because they actually want to implement whatever these final changes that we're going to make in the contract. But we had a meeting about 2 weeks ago that gave me hope that I stopped actually looking for alternate venue, and we just got to finalize them. And I think we got a meeting next week, and I think we're going to, some things are going to change. It's inevitable. Nothing I could do about it. But, and it's just mostly related to the concession, the liquor. The liquor was a big concern with them this year. There's always a couple people. Like we had one guy who just I had to stay there an extra hour and a half because I couldn't get this guy anywhere. He was passed out. He wouldn't get up. I got his phone.
Yes, we all.
Yeah, I finally got him to unlock his phone. It took him forever to figure that out. And then I was calling his dad. I was calling his brother. No one's picking up this guy or answering the phone for an hour. They just left him there. I mean, so, there's some legitimate concerns, and the rest of it is the concession guy just wanting his piece of the action. I mean, we've been bypassing him now for 7-8 years, and it's basically you got to pay the piper, and that's going to happen this year no matter what we do, and it's going to change some of the way the tastings and even the bottled water, how it's going to work. So, but I'm confident at this point. Yeah, we can't bring bottled water anymore. We used to have a sponsor, our good friend Steve Outbaum from Stat, because they have a contract with Coke and they can't lose it, and we can't bring in bottled water. So the bottled water was always a sponsorship, so it wasn't really a cost. It got incorporated into our overall expense of throwing the event.
There was also no name on it other than the Smoke Inn.
Doesn't matter. It's bottled water. So but I'm not going to buy Coke water at his price to give away because it'd be absurd. He was probably going to want to charge me like full retail on it. So we're working out little things like that, but yeah, some things are just going to have to change, and there's not a lot of options and where to go. So we're just going to have to make it work however, whatever we got to do. But at least if I lock into a contract this year, I won't have to rehash this problem with the fairgrounds.
Now, I mean, would they let you lock in for a multiple year, or would you not want to?
Well, no, I mean, my point is I won't have to redo these issues. I mean, I could lock in for 2027 and 2028 right now, but the problem is that I have two concerns. I have to avoid major events that they're having there, which is one of the problems we ran into this year with Fuel Fest. That's why the event from now on will be in March, first, second, third week of March. I mean, we have to get out of February. There's too many big events in February in the fairgrounds. When we were out in the older buildings, out by the where the dirt was and where the Agriplex building, as they call it, it's not as in demand. So we had a lot more liberty. But since we moved into the main hall where they do Barrett Jackson and everything else, it's just really tough. So that's why we'll never go really that far out. And, we have to also consider what's going on in our industry. Trade show dates are changing now. TAA dates are changing now. You just can't go too far out.
Yeah, PCA is now going to be in March, potentially for years to come. And that could throw a wrench into a few manufacturers coming. Did that affect any of the manufacturer decisions this year?
PCA next year is going to be in April. So
still that spring area though.
Yeah, spring area. But I mean, look, man, whatever it is, we do what we have to do. I mean, that's our industry. I don't think they're ever going to move it up into early March, but I really didn't. For me personally, it's no benefit being in March or April or May or June or July or August. I mean, just have it, do a good show. Let us go there, do our business, and get the fuck out.
No, absolutely, absolutely. So now, because one bad egg can spoil it for some, all right. Is there going to be like drink limits? Like now you had said there might be like, is
So
it going
here,
to go to that extent?
so here's the problem. So I mean, it's supposedly the liquor license is attached to it, and they have to abide by certain rules. So you can't really have open bar, which is basically what the Great Smoke's kind of been. Even though it's supposed to be sampling, it's been unregulated sampling and haywire. So we haven't worked it out, but there might be like a little punch ticket. So you get so many. They want to limit how much somebody can drink an hour so that they're not going home butt face shit waste and somebody gets in a wreck and there's a liability issue and there's a risk to the liquor license, which is responsible because it's not like one company. I got two bartenders, at most that'll work on a regular night. You can control it. They got control. You got college girls working who aren't even certified serve safe, which we have to get them certified serve safe. You got the vendors. You got so many different people who's watching really all of this. So they have some legitimate concerns that are just unavoidable.
No,
And we're going to have to relate to it.
And they protect you as well, as much as they might be kind of annoying to work through.
Well, I mean, listen, I mean, you sue anybody. I mean, you at the end of the day, whether you win or lose, you could just sue anybody. So yeah, I mean, everybody's protected, but 18 years we've had really no problems. And like this past year was really the first time I had to hold somebody's hand for like 90 minutes. But I mean, like literally, but look, it is what it is. It is what it is. And I don't think the excessive booze consumption or this or that takes away from what the event is. I mean, it just doesn't.
No, my gosh, no. That's why, like, when you say, "Oh, go down to a punch ticket," quite frankly, the event is so great. Like, I don't know why you'd want to get blackout and miss it. Like that, you're literally. It's like going to a concert. It's going to the Eagles show and getting too smashed and going, "How is the event?" I don't know.
Right?
I was there.
I agree. I agree with you.
So like it's supposed to enhance. It's not supposed to be the experience.
I agree.
So well, I want to talk about what I'm smoking tonight. So we did a long way into this, but to get into what I am smoking today, I'm only smoking this for one reason, because I got the email today that said I get to purchase and pay for the rest of them and they're shipped out. So, Abe, let's talk a little bit about the LBD, Little Big Delicious, which the release is now the third in the line from the Big Delicious, the pink Little Big Delicious, now the blue Little Big Delicious. So, what has this been like? Is this supposed to be here for a bit ago, and then you had some shipping problems or something, where stuff wasn't coming in?
I mean, look, you mean the late being and releasing it to the public?
Yeah, the email you had sent.
Look, the expected delivery date is April. That was what we were told at the beginning. Now, between me and you, if I'm telling people it's due in April, my drop dead date that I've already predetermined with the manufacturer sometime in March.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
That's how I work. But things get held up. That's just the way this industry is. If you don't know that, you're not in the cigar business. So we kept calling, we kept pushing, we kept seeing where it's at. I mean, I was checking in with Matt, and it's not really Matt Boostfall. I was checking in with Matt like every 2 weeks, as we were getting close. And he asked his people, yeah, everything's going good. Everything's going good. And that's just the way it gets. And, so technically I really had till April 30th. And it was supposed to be here April 30th. The tracking, when I finally get the tracking, said April 30th, and it didn't come in till 4 p.m. May 1st. So the team really, and when I say 4 p.m., like 4:30, and the team worked really hard yesterday to unload them, unpack them, count them, make sure it was there before they went home, so that this morning we could send out the emails letting everybody know that, if you place a deposit, it's here. Now, we literally ordered pretty close to what people pre-ordered with the deposit. So I'm going to say there's probably an additional 40 boxes because I like round numbers. So I ordered to the roundest 100. And they'll be available after we get all the pre-orders out and sort. And then, people who paid the deposit have 30 days. And, we will, and it's really, we just can't sit on these things forever, which people kind of get upset at when they pay a deposit and they email us like 5 months later. Hey, whatever happened, bro? We sent you 5 emails. What do you want? Or my favorite is that we've had a guy who subscribed. Then, like, for one of these, whether it was Ugashi, I can't remember what it was, and then didn't contact us like for 7 months, 6 months after the expected delivery date. Now, I don't know about you, but if I put a deposit in something, I just got a brand new Braun shaver, right? And they said the cartridge lasted 18 months. I just unpacked it before the show. I put in my calendar 16 months from now, change razor head, right? I mean, so this guy reached out to us 7 months later, and we sold it. There was no more of the product left. And, he's like, well, I never got an email. And then we looked him up. Well, dude, you unsubscribed from any notifications for email. So how did, you didn't even go into your account because the message was in your account had you logged in. What do you want me to tell you? So, there's always that, but I will still take the pre-order system over just the dead drop, because honestly, it's the only way to really guarantee that those who really want the product, who really don't want to miss out and don't want the stress of having to jump online and beat everybody and get it, it's the best way. The guys who miss out and then get pissed because they missed out, or they just shouldn't do it then. That's all. Don't ruin it for everybody else who's loving it, enjoying it.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. And I think the pre-order method that you do, that really changed, I think, a lot. The pre-ordering that you did with Steve, that was like one of the first, if not the first in the industry to do that. And I know one of the reasons why you do it, a big reason is to keep the people from buying up everything and then selling on a third market. Or at least that was a thought.
The real thought is that, look, with Red Meat Lovers Club, we missed 3 years in a row. Overestimated, underestimated, and then we really underestimated with the third one, where I think it sold out like, it sold out like in hours. Where we want these kind of releases to be around for at least the minimum couple of weeks. So it really exploded. Like, well, fuck, man, I'm never going to get this number right. And all you end up having is, by doing that, is hundreds of people upset because they didn't get a chance, and then you open the door to third-party sellers and guys want to mark it up and sell it and take advantage of those who didn't get it. So the pre-order system solved all that, man. We open it up for 2-3 weeks, give people enough time to hear about it, place their order, and they don't have to worry. And they don't have to fight people online to make sure that it doesn't sell out before they get to it, or go to the bathroom while they're at work to get their order in. It's just silly. And because everybody who kind of wanted it, there's no that third market, tertiary market reselling of the product, because the demand isn't there, because everybody who really wanted it had an opportunity. And typically we'll order some extra, because we always know that somebody who didn't know about it or the pre-order says will then see it, or become part of our Smoking social Facebook group, and everybody's posting it. What is this? And they weren't even like in the loop when we were taking deposits. So there's always going to be a little bit extra that we sell, and they'll be available after we take care of everybody who pre-ordered.
And let me ask you this: you've done this pre-order now 4 or 5 times, I think. 4 times?
Yeah, probably 4 or 5 times by now.
Have you ever done an Abe guess to see if you were able to do a high-low? Have you ever done like an inter-office gamble on high-low?
Well, I mean, not an in-office gamble, but like, when we did Wagashi with the Dojo guys, Dojo had for years always just done 300. That was their number. And I remember thinking to myself, I really need to get Eric to get on this pre-order, because 300, that's not the number. I'm telling you, it's not the number. And but I know how they like to do things, right? They do this 300 and it sells out in an hour, and they're all happy, and they get on a podcast and whatever it is, and that's kind of their shtick. So I really, really was expecting a lot of kind of pushback, and I really thought I was going to have to do a lot of convincing to convince him to it. But he was great. I explained to him how it works. He said, oh, great. I'm like, wow, that was easy. He goes, yeah, we trust you. And that was the best. And instead of just selling 300 cigars, They got pre-orders and deposit. I think the final number was over 1,400.
Yeah, it was a
units. So I mean, I was like, and I my call was it was going to be over 1,000. That was my call on that. But no, I mean, we don't got time to waste time trying to guess and play games. I mean, sometimes we do, but it's nothing serious. But I knew that was definitely underestimated. If you want to answer Drew's question, look.
Yes.
We knew that we weren't going to have a RML release last November. And that's kind of one of the reasons why Wagashi got moved in that spot. And Steve and I have been working on a really, really special project. Because look, I always like to do better. RML was such a big hit, man. The last thing you want to do is replace it with a lesser exciting brand, right?
Sure.
So Steve had this blend that he's been working on for a long time. And we were talking about it, and like he sent me some samples even a month ago. Once again, in 2 different sizes, and I agree with him. I like the smaller size better. So he's still not even happy with this blend. But our plan right now, and this is the first you're going to hear it, is there's going to be, just like we did the original RML, there's going to be a very soft release of this project in November. It's going to be a very soft release. It's going to be one of those ones where if guys are really hardcore fans, it won't be in the final packaging. I think the bands will say pre-release. I won't get too in depth of the blend or the project or the name, but our intention is to drop it. And when I say soft release, I'm saying like 500 probably bundles, 500-600 bundles, but it won't be our pre-order. We just want to get them out there. People are used to getting something in November, and then the major release of it will probably be the following November in 2025, which will probably take pre-orders in April of 2025. So you heard the scoop here first, Drew.
So we're not doing a pre-order with it. It's going to be a lower count release.
We're going to drop it.
When you say soft release, though, you are going to be like announcing it. You're not just going to drop it quietly.
No. We'll let people know. I'll probably do a video the week of, so that the people who really follow us the most and the guys who are on Smoke Inn Social who really follow us will have the up and up on it. We're not going to market it for months or talk about it. It's going to be a soft release. We want to get it out there. We want to get in the hands of some of our fans and Dunbarton's biggest fans. And, if that blend is where we want it and it's good, Steve's already kind of been working on the packaging, and we'll have it for a full normal release. It'll become an official, micro blend to the series in November of next year.
Wow. Hey, everyone's really happy. That is awesome. So exclusive world release here on Rocky Mountain Cigar Show. Big Dunbarton project coming up with Smoke Inn and Abe in November. And we'll see where it goes. It'll be a smaller release, not exclusive to Socialite though, correct?
No.
Okay. No, it'll be for everybody. It'll be on the site. Everybody will be able to go and grab it.
Socialites may have a little jump on the link before everybody else, but no, it won't be exclusive. There's got to be perks to being in the Smoke Inn Social Facebook group. I mean, that's what it's there for.
So everybody, if you're watching and you've never watched before, first off, please hit subscribe and follow. But in the links below, there's a link that will take you directly to the Smoke Inn Socialite Club. If you're not part of it, you are literally missing out on not just news, but a community of people that, I mean, my gosh, Abe, how much is that community has just helped everybody in that community? We've had fires. We've raised money for other people in that community. It is literally its own little environment, ecosystem.
I'm very proud of that group, and that's why I'm very protective of that group. And that's why, I think some people don't understand sometimes when we're a little bit overly protective of that group. And we put a lot of work in that group, but it's filled with amazing, like-minded people, and we work hard to keep it that way. I mean, we decline as many people, or sometimes even more, than we accept new people coming into the group.
And please don't reach out to me. I can't get you in the group. I can offer.
Listen. You don't have to be a Smoke Inn customer. You just got to be a real cigar person. If you sign up with one of these pages that 10 million people manage, you're not getting in the group. If your profile picture and your thing is a company that's vape, weed, or whatever, you're not getting in the group. You know, if you don't have a profile picture and you're some weird name and your Facebook account just opened up last week and you're not in one other cigar group and you and I don't share one friend, because most cigar guys, Terrence Riley will be on our friend, Steve Stock will be on, mutual friend.
All of
Then
them.
you're not really a cigar guy. You're not getting in the group. We just want real people who are there to enjoy the community and the cigar stuff. And I'm telling you, I've been in a lot of groups. I'm still in a lot of groups. I'm not as active in a lot of groups anymore. But that's the one thing they don't do, man. They just let anybody in, and it's a clusterfuck. And we really like to keep the group to really pure people who want to be there and enjoy the group. And it's a job. It's work. I mean, me, Rich, even Joey, Alex, even part-time is still, we still groom that group and prune, like the word prune. We prune the group.
Yeah. No, and you do a great job as a caretaker for the group. And I don't really think a lot of people understand what a group of 5,000-6,000 people actually takes to run. It's not like it just kind of runs. There's a reason why people are in the group. It's because you guys make it fun, the group itself. So one of the things that I love about it versus other groups that I'm in, because I've been like 100 groups, is the selling, the fake Cuban selling. Like, you guys are all over that. You guys are all over the bullshit. You guys are all over bullies. It's literally a caring group, and you've done so much to maintain that. What did you ever expect that to be like this? Because in the beginning, it was probably a little bit more raw, unrefined as it is today, right?
I mean, no, I mean, it's kind of really the same. In fact, it's become harder. I mean, look, I like, here's a perfect example. I got myself in a pickle, right? We started these top contributor coins, and I was supposed to release them. We like to do little things, whether it's Abe coin, Gold coin, top, just things to say thank you, being part of our family and such an awesome person in our group. And this top contributor coin was supposed to be something that I could easily do a Facebook report on, right? And that way, because it's a lot of work. I'm not watching 5,700 people, 5,800 people, and and I just made a post recently. Like, I mean, it's a group of 5,800 people, and like almost 5,000 of them are active, right? We all feel like it's the same 300 or 400 because that's what's coming in our feeds. But when you look at the report, man, there's 5,000 active people. So part of the problem is that report gave me a unbiased way to just quickly see. But I've been studying it, and the report's bogus. It doesn't work. So now I don't even know what to do. And I was hoping like it would show me like the top 50. And listen, if anybody out there knows Facebook really good and knows either a plugin or something to help me out with this, let me know. And I was just going to screen the top 50 every month or 100 and go down until I got 10 new people. But it shows me like the same 10 people. And then you look and there's people 10 times more active. So I don't even know what to do with these coins now. I don't even know how to hand them out, because now I got nothing but to randomly choose, on my opinion now, which is not the position I wanted to be in. So it's a lot harder when you got this kind of people than when we just had a couple hundred when we started.
Yeah, and it's hard to keep everyone happy. I know you made a post the other day about somebody getting upset and leaving the group because they felt they should have gotten top contributor. And it's hard to keep that many people happy.
But listen, that doesn't bother me. And for the record, that person actually never left the group, or last time I looked, I left the group. But people get to say, well, they said they were gonna. I mean, I can only report what I hear. But I mean, look, here's the thing. I mean, if anybody who's gonna get upset about not getting a coin or not being recognized in the group really is missing the whole philosophy and mentality about the group. That's just perks and fun and not meant. And if you are any kind of realist, you got to realize we don't see everything. It's hard to see everything. That's why we have 12 or 14 moderators. We can't even see every post. So it's a lot of work, and people don't realize the amount of work it takes, but we're proud of it, and we're going to keep doing that work. And I just want to answer Mike, because I don't want to forget. Yeah, Mike, I take days off. I was just in Tampa in a tuxedo last week partying with Carlito. So yeah, I take days off.
Follow his personal page. Him and Brandy are out gallivanting. Abe
Yes,
mixes up really nice. Not, I mean, don't get me.
bro.
Brandy is the
Everybody,
one that fixes. Yeah.
always, but everybody looks good in a tuxedo, bro. I mean, come on, you tux up, man. You look good.
So have you? I've always wondered this because you do specific socialite drops, you do specific socialite 5 packs, exclusive only links given in that. Have you ever considered doing like
Hush,
an
hush.
exclusive? Oh, okay, all right. Won't ask it. We won't go there.
We've been working on something. Look, yeah, I don't know, you're getting a lot. Listen, guys who don't watch your show, shame on them because you're getting a lot of inside info that we haven't told anybody. This started 2 years ago, at least a year and a half ago. We're working on a SIS cigar, literally, and this is the first we've talked about it publicly. And we're down to 4 blends, and this is going to be a socialite picked cigar. The cigars, the 4 final blends have arrived in our warehouse. They're there. Now we are just waiting on some packaging that we ordered. I think there's 500 of these units. So we will announce it. The first 500 socialites who buy it, they'll get the 4-pack, and there'll be a QR code on the back, and they can rate it. And we're going to let the socialite vote pick the final blend for the cigar.
Like the Connoisseur Club.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Kind of,
Southern
similar.
Draw. I think Southern Draw did the same thing. I mean, this is not an original idea. It's probably one of the cooler ways to do it, but it's not an original idea. But how are we, if we really want to make a smoking social cigar, and it's going to be called SIS, it won't be just sold to socialites. It won't be a socialite exclusive. It's going to be a permanent house brand in our brick and mortar and online, but it will definitely be picked. And the blend will be based on the opinions of our socialite family.
Guys, 2 world exclusive. This is the beauty. This is the beauty of having the Smoking Studios here at the Rocky Mountain Cigar Show.
I like coming with gifts. I like coming with gifts.
Oh, Kevin, you're late. You missed it, man. You got to rewatch this. You've got some exclusives to put up on Cigar Prop for sure that was talked about tonight.
Kevin was busy because we asked him to help us figure out how to throw in an extra cigar in the Cigar of the Month Club for everybody whose birthday lands on the. I am just kidding. That's not happening. It's an inside joke. If you follow us on Smoking Social, I know Kevin knows what I'm talking about.
Well, I for a second there forgot. Was like, whoa, is that for real? But Hector. Now I'm going to ask this question, but I'm not going to press. This is going to be if he wants to. Is this going to be a single or multiple manufacturer pack?
No. We wanted to look. It originally started with just working with Aganorsa, right? So that's how it started. And we go through that blending process of them sending us samples and cigars, or whatever. And we've been doing this for a while. And we kind of got down to really 3 that were really hardcore, and 3-pack was kind of weird, but some of us really liked that 4th one. It wasn't the majority. And then we said, why are we going to pick? I just think it'd be cool to let the socialites pick. So all 4 cigars are from Aganorsa leaf. We're not going to tell anybody what the wrapper, binder, filler is. If you can figure it out, good on you. You'll know when the cigar gets released. But it's a real simple, it's a cute little 4-pack. And I suggest you smoke them and take notes. And when you're done, there's a QR code on the back. You scan it, and then you pick. This was my first favorite, second favorite, third favorite, 4th favorite. And we'll tally up the points in the system, and that will be the SIS. We're going to call it the SIS cigar.
So if everyone that has it as their first favorite, do they all get a free 5-pack or a free box since they chose? Just totally kidding.
Absolutely not.
You said that for a second. I thought you were going to say absolutely. Go ahead.
That's how I talk to my kids when they ask me for something stupid. Absolutely not.
Well, everybody, if you're watching and you're not a subscriber of this show, please subscribe to this show, follow this show. We have a lot of fun here. We get exclusive. We get Abe on. We get gifts. Abe's generous guy. He likes the show.
So Jeff, it's really weird because I was expecting Toros, all Toros. That was kind of the samples we had, but like there's one Bellicoso in there. Kind of odd. And then there are kind of maybe Toros in there, but they're all maybe Toro sizes. But this is going to be something that's going to come in different sizes. We're just trying to get the hardcore blend down picked right now. This is not going to be a one-off. This is not going to be a limited production. We'll probably release it in 3 different sizes. This is going to be a Smoke Inn house brand.
So that is huge. That is huge news. So for sure, everybody, if you're watching, please let's get the word out. That is absolutely fantastic. First announced here. I am looking so forward to it. Only 500 will be out there. So definitely keep your eyes in the Socialite group. And if you're not part of the Socialite group, you're probably going to miss out. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's just probably going to happen because within 5 seconds of Abe posting a special Socialite thing, it's gone. Like, it's just fucking gone. And so no crying. Anybody watching this show has first knowledge of this. So be prepared. Let's get ready. Get the cards out. Can we just like preemptively buy into this now?
This is still far away. The tasting packs probably won't come out for another 90 days. We're not going to even probably offer the tasting packs for 60 to 90 days. Then once the blend is picked, band's got to be designed. Well, the band's halfway designed already, but we got to get the packaging made because the sizes that we're going to finalize. So you're probably not going to see this as a full release till 2025, realistically.
Well, Craig's already thinking about just sending over his paycheck to you.
We appreciate the love and support. Believe me, we do.
Well, this is great. So everybody, here's what I would recommend everybody do. And I actually heard Abe say this one time during a pre-order. Hey guys, listen, $150 release isn't that much if you incrementally purchase it. Buy a $25 gift card every month until the release and it's paid for. So if you're looking 60, 90, 120 days out from now, just go ahead and start buying a $25 gift card.
Ryan, listen, the 4-pack is only 60, 90 days from now. So, I mean, I don't know what it's going to finally be, but it's probably going to be something like $30, for the 4-pack. But I have said that when people do you're right. You're just going to get a 4-pack sampler. When the final blend is picked, you won't see these cigars till 2025.
I was expecting a $50 4-pack or $40 4-pack.
No, I mean, there's no packaging. There's no bands. I just got to see what Terrence finally charged me, and it is what it is. But yeah, these cigars won't be around. But I always do tell people because it'll happen when they pick deposits. A lot of people, when the time comes around, they're like, "Oh man, I gotta wait for my next paycheck." I said, or they want us to take a payment program, and I'm like, "Look, it's really easy, man. Just go on, buy a $20, $25 gift card monthly. The cigars aren't due for 6 or 7 months. By the time it's got there, you got your monthly payment program. You have all in gift cards. You could buy it." So that was an idea I know I said on some show. It might have been one of your shows.
Yeah. No, I think that's what you said around one of the Red Meat Lovers releases.
Yeah, it's just a simple way to do things.
So, but not only that, but just keep the cards stacked up so that way your wife never really knows how much you have when you spend it. It doesn't. It just shows $25.
Use those SI alibis; they come in handy.
That's very true. So Emma, I don't know. I don't think we would do like a live review of it, but I would love to have Abe come on for a release episode to do. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Sure,
absolutely.
absolutely.
So we could get that scheduled in for sure. So when this comes out, is this going to be in the rare age limited room
no, kind of it's not a rare it's not a rare or limited cigar.
But I know you have your house sticks in there. That's what I was asking, because
those aren't house sticks. Those are things that we what's the word I'm looking for? I'm getting old now, forgetting words, that we commissioned. But most of the things that are in that room are one and done. When they're gone, they're gone. We don't get more of them.
So the Abe special release, though, that one is gone, right?
I don't know. I don't keep track of what's in that room.
Okay. See, I thought maybe this was going to
I seldom go in that room unless I'm going to clean something up or do something. Because that's more on the brick and mortar side, and I seldom go in that room. What I do is say, hey, let's put 10 of these away right now. And in 4 or 5 years, when no one can find them anymore, we'll put them in the rare and vintage room. And that's what I make boxes of. But when they need stuff, they'll say, hey, we need some product. We're low. We go into the archives, pull out what we can, and fill it up. But no, I don't even keep track of what's in that room. Or at times they'll say, look, we call it the octagon because it looks like a honeybee shelving in there. They're like, look, man, we're low on this one and this one and this one. We're going to need 3 eventually, and then I'll reach out and I'll buy 2,000 sticks or 3,000 sticks of something. I mean, one of the ones was the Dunbarton DEX 127. I mean, Steve and I worked on that, and we got, I think we got 1,000. Okay, so Steve fucked up, and I have the emails to prove it. Right, our initial order was 2,000 of these. I think we got like 600, but the rest is coming.
So, well, I think I am looking so forward to that. That's going to be definitely on my list of things to get. I'll be getting one for both Ari and I, if I can. Maybe have to have her order it. Is there? That's the other question too. Is it a one per person, or will people be able to do multiple?
Is what one per person?
That 4-pack.
Really, it's one per person. I mean, we this is not something to buy to hoard. Maybe we'll let it go to 2 because honestly, myself, maybe we'll limit it to 2 per person because myself, if I'm really tasting something, I don't always just go buy the one cigar I smoke. I mean, honestly, I'll smoke 2 or even sometimes 3 of them, having a hard choice. So we'll probably allow it 2 per account. I mean, we just want a consensus of the group. We don't want 20 people picking out a blend. We want the biggest consensus we can get.
Well, then you get somebody like Vinny that'll buy like 20 packs.
2.
Hear that, Vinny? 2.
Hey, listen, I see. Look, I see my buddy Paulie's on from La Casa Grande, and look, I can't believe it's May 2nd. That's the one thing about the way I live my life, man. It's just never enough time. But I've been talking about it. And listen, if I don't do it by the end of next week, Paulie, it's probably not going to happen. But I've been trying to coordinate to get a trip down there. We were actually going to go down there Labor Day, Memorial Day weekend, because I want to come and spend a day in a shop to work on a cigar that Paulie will make for us that will be in our rare and vintage room.
Wow. Okay. Is that something this year? Potentially?
Well, I got to get there first, bro.
Okay. Well, I know.
I got a lot of sauce. I know, but I just told you I've been talking about booking this trip for a month, and it's May 2nd. I still haven't gotten to it yet. So,
I know it's not Marissa's fault.
No, that one's totally on me. But yeah, I'm spinning a lot of plates. It's I got to get there. I want to work with him. And I'm very confident at the end he'll make us a pretty cool cigar that'll be something special that we'll have in our rare and vintage room.
So I do have a question about this. Richard actually brought up an interesting point, and I've always been curious about how you, if you can actually police this. What do you like? Do you allow husband wives to buy the same equal boxes, or like, do you limit stuff by household when it's exclusives, onesie, twosies? And to Richard's point here, he goes, I'll just make another account.
It's really not that complicated. Tom Pauser has his account, and Michelle Pauser has her account.
But you won't but like if somebody was to make it a second account, a third account to buy those, is that something that you ever had an issue with?
I mean, yeah. But I mean, look, I think there was one time where somebody signed up for 10 Cigar of the Month clubs. And that's not what our Cigar of the Month club is about. It's not a buying club. I got a lot of buying deals. It's about an exploration club. So that's just someone who wants to take advantage of special pricing and bought 10 of them. So while some clubs will boast about that, we shut that down. And for the longest time, we had it only one. And then we had issues like Tom and Michelle, who are really 2 smokers who live in a household. And then they just solved that problem by making an account each. And then when Joey came on board, he kind of made the good argument that, look, some people just like to smoke more than one. or whatever. So then we offer the double down, which a lot of people take advantage of that. And look, and you really should, because it's a good deal, and you're getting you save $10 than having two different things. But I mean, look, there's always going to be guys who want to loop the system and do stuff, and we're not going to go crazy policing that stuff. If we see it and it's belligerent and it's bad, we shut it down. But no one's got time to try to catch everybody who's trying to break a loophole. The point of this tasting pack is we want the majority of the socialites to have a chance to put in their 2 cents and help us pick the final blend for the project. If guys are going to go out of their way to try to take advantage and get 4, it's not really. This is not really something they want to get 4 of.
Correct.
If you really want to rate it, for a lot of people, 1 pack is going to be enough. For those hardcore people, they can get 2. But outside of that, who really wants to go out of their way to get 5 or 10? It's not what it's about.
Well, in moving on here, I'm really curious to hear about what your thoughts was around PCA this year. I heard it was a little bit less of an event than it was as far as retailers being there. Is that true?
PCA has never been an event.
Not an event. I'm sorry, an expo. An expo.
I don't know. I'm not one of these guys that get withered down with all that kind of BS. They're all looking for reasons to make it either awesome or make it not so awesome. Look, it's a boring event. It's been a boring event. There's nothing exciting about the PCA. It's a pain in the ass for most of us to go to. And that's the bottom line. That's what it is. We go there, most of us, to really see old friends and get together a little bit and have a little fun. I don't really even have to go. My operations guy goes. I go there because there's some really cool projects and stuff. It's a lot easier talking to some of these people face to face, and I get away with my wife for a few days, and that's why I go to the PCA. There's nothing exciting about going to the PCA.
Well, did you think the event was better being held in March than in the summer?
Could care less.
That doesn't.
In fact, nah. In fact, I mean, was it nice to walk outside and it not be 114 degrees? Yeah. Does that make a difference really to me? No. I don't mind it in the summer because I got a lot of shit going on in February and March. I don't need another event in February and March for me personally. But I'm not one of these people that wants the whole cigar industry to conform to what works best in my life. And that's the problem with a lot of people in PCA. Well, it's not a good buying time for us. Oh, it's a bad time of year. Oh, yeah. You're going to make half the people happy. You're going to piss off half the people. That's the reality of any event. So, I really don't care. It's less convenient for me for it to be in March or April. You're not going to hear me whine and complain about it. But it's no more fun or exciting than one year than the next. I've never gone to the PCA and said, whoa, wow, oh my God, did you see what they did this year?
I love the shirts.
Yeah, I mean, I go to see my friends and hang out with my friends, and I enjoy the 20-minute end of show rap sessions I'll either have with Rocky or Steve Saka, because honestly, they're pretty much always strategically kind of toward the door on the way out. So that's where I hang out, and my wife gets to see Cindy, and I get to see Chris Duque, who comes in from Hawaii, and I get to plan on a few projects and close a few deals, but that's it. The rest is how many people look. No matter what manufacturer you talk to, I think maybe 1 or 2 gave me an honest answer. But no matter who you talk to, it was the greatest year ever. They sold more. Or they'll butter it down. Well, it seemed a little less, but oddly enough, we sold like 5%, 10% more than last year. I mean, it's the same story every year. So I don't really look at those things. I kind of go in there, do my shtick, have as much fun as I can, and go home.
Well, let me ask you this. Would you rather see the event? I personally think, and I've talked with other manufacturers about this, the event should be held in Tampa. The event should be held in Florida.
What event are you talking about? Are you talking about the trade show?
Sorry. The trade show should be held in Florida.
Tampa's not big enough. I love Tampa. They had it in Tampa a few years back. It was really great. All my staff on different days took the day off and come out, and I got to get them to show them. It was a great experience for a lot of them. Could it handle it? I don't know. It was barely big enough when they did it. I think it had been 10 to 15 years ago. Orlando was the most recent. Once again, easy for me, but once again, you alienate a lot of people in other parts of the country. Look, at the end of the day, if Orlando can be pulled off, which, you know, I think Jeff from Corona helped a lot to make it happen, but there were some issues. The hotel wasn't great where I was at, stuff like that. The PCA always, I mean, this is just the logic of the PCA, right? The PCA always picks Vegas because they feel like it's a central point. It so isn't the central point. And if you look statistically at manufacturers, most of them will tell you 80, 65. Well, if you take out Texas and Arizona, I guarantee you 80% of the business comes east of the Mississippi. All right. So I don't know how it's going to be in New Orleans. I always liked New Orleans. The couple times it was there, I like it. I like the food. New Orleans was nice. I didn't mind New Orleans. New Orleans is a good middle ground, you know? And I really think instead of worrying about changing venues and making it, so it's because they're always worried about the wrong shit at the PCA, right? They're worried about people getting the guys who you got to worry about changing venues so it doesn't get boring are the guys who are never going to really be the backbone of a trade show. The guys that you got to worry about what time of year you're making the show aren't ever going to be the retailers that will be the backbone of a trade show, right? What you do is make life a nightmare for every manufacturer when you're changing venues. From moving all the shit which you typically store in the same city to the extra expense it costs them, it's a nightmare. So you're making the people that you wouldn't have a show without, you're making their lives 10 times harder. So it's like they're trying to solve a problem but create 10 other problems doing it. It makes no sense. Find a good home base. If New Orleans is it or whatever it is, you know, I'm not a big fan of Vegas, but I'll go to Vegas and just do the show there every year. And pick a time of year, make that time of year regardless. Stop trying to make everybody happy. Focus on coming up with stuff other than it's a trade show to make all these retailers want to come, which is what I've told them from 20 years ago or however long it's been since I was on the board. Give people a reason to come other than we have a 3-day expo. Create something. And that's the part that hasn't happened yet. It's going to be tough to happen when you try to do stuff by a committee of 12 people. You know, I always said, you want to see a trade show happen? You want to see it take off? You want to see it be amazing? Okay, you cut down to the board to whatever it is and all the bullshit. You cut it down to a consulting committee of 5. That's it. And then you hire somebody and you pay him a decent salary and you let him run the trade show like a dictator. Doesn't have to answer to nobody. And you want to know what? If he sucks, guess what you do after the first year?
Let him have another shot.
No, you fire him.
So
there's no second chances when you're paying somebody a good salary. Either he knocks it out of the park and he's your man, or you fire him and you find somebody else. But that's how you're going to get shit done. That's how you'll hit that next level of experience and amazing trade show. But you're going to have 12 retailers. Most of them are barely in the pulse of the industry. They try to make stuff by committee and they're all volunteer. And the best they get is a room perk here or there or whatever it is. And, you know, don't pay for their trade show bullshit and a couple free trips. You know, where's the inspiration to be great? There is none. There's absolutely none inspiration to be great.
No, there's not. I got to ask you really quick because I've been listening since you've been on this amazing violin music. I assume,
is it coming? See, I got
I love it.
I got earmuffs on, so I can't hear what's going. There she is. My middle daughter will play violin 24 hours. That's what I was going to
ask. For an hour straight. It's just like, I thought it was a record or an album or CD. It's just, it's incredible. This is what your home is filled with?
That or piano and sometimes guitar. My oldest daughter, so my son had football practice, which I had to run him to and then get back here in time. My oldest daughter has her concert tonight, which my wife is at, and the middle daughter is in the weight room now practicing her violin.
It is incredible. It sounds so good. Like I literally thought it was off
Is
of a CD or something.
is it annoying?
No, my God, no. Everybody, like, please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if anybody else can hear it, but it is absolutely gorgeous. Like,
Right.
you are a lucky fucking man that you have your home filled with such an amazing family and talented.
It's never a quiet moment. Let's put it that way. In
Well,
fact, honestly, when it's quiet, that's when you start going, what the fuck are they up to? Something's wrong. You know, that's when you start getting up, looking around, and see what they're up to.
Where's Asher? It's too quiet.
That's literally what I'm saying to myself, because when I took my earmuffs off, I can't even hear the other two, so I'm a little nervous what they're up to.
So, well, I gotta say, I was able to fulfill the promise I made your daughter at TGS and brought her own 5-pack of bacon, and I hope
she let us know that we couldn't use it.
So everybody,
that's my bacon.
So everybody that doesn't know, so we have a bacon company, Rocky Mountain Gourmet Bacon. Go to baconfix.com and get some.
The best bacon.
Abe was literally like, I need you around, so we need to turn this into some kind of a company, and he kind of helped get us not in a financial way, but more in a guidance mentorship way, get us going. And so his daughter walked up to me, not this last year, but the year prior at TGS, and was like, "You're the bacon guy. I love you." And she told me how she can't even look at store-bought bacon anymore. And I told her, I was going, I'm going to send you your own 5-pack. Well, I was able to actually bring it to her in person, and she flipped her lid. It was awesome. So that made me feel amazing. And I've never brought 15 pounds of bacon on an airplane before. I was concerned it was going to be like the King of the Hill turkey experience, where like they're putting my bags in, the dogs don't leave the bag alone type deal, and they think it's a bomb or something.
You know, it really is worth every penny. There's just no point to eat bacon any other way. My sandwiches don't taste as good. They don't look as good. Breakfast is not as good. In fact, I made some scrambled eggs on rye toast with some capers and feta cheese about a month and a half ago. I was just up early. I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to make myself breakfast. And you could see that bacon. That was your bacon. That bacon, that picture, all big and thick and juicy in the front. That was your bacon.
Well, I appreciate your daughter made that experience to give that bacon to her. Just watching your face light up, give you a big old hug. Like it was awesome, and it meant the world to me. And I part of me likes the fact that she says it's mine and you can't touch it.
Oh no, she wrote her, because I think we had not ordered too long ago from you for us personally, family. She put her name on those. Do not touch. Put them in the freezer, in the chest freezer, and yeah, we're not allowed to have that bacon.
That is so funny. I want to know where this cookie thing is. Last time you were on, we were talking about Brandy's cookies. Where is that? Where's that experience been like?
It's hard to say anything, but my wife's not home. So I'm like, look, I mean, at the end of the day, that's not my project. That's something I want to do for my wife. And, you know, she got excited about it for a little bit. And then, I mean, look, in her defense, she really didn't want to do it. I was kind of pushing her to do it because I thought they were really fucking good cookies. And I really thought it'd be easy. We already have a fulfillment center, a shipping center. But I can't make people do something, you know?
Well, hopefully one day we'll at least get the collaboration cookie.
You know, I mean, yeah, right. We're going to make a special edition. Yeah, I mean, look, I mean,
maybe we could do an exclusive socialite cookie.
Something has to be, when you do something like that, it's got to be theirs. You know, I had that talk with my oldest daughter. You know, she has a lot of great ideas and wants to do that. I'll help you. Here's the advice, but you got to put in the work. It's going to be yours. You know, it's sometimes the execution. I tell them all the time, my kids, you know, thinking of something's easy. I guarantee there are people who think a lot of great shit and never do it. It's the execution that differentiates everybody.
So I want to actually talk to you a little bit about what you just brought up. As somebody that's been in the retail world now, what's your totality in the retail world? Almost your whole life.
I mean, no, literally, like since
Literally
birth.
your whole life. Yeah.
Whether it's grocery or cigars or whatever, yeah, my life.
How tough is it to see greatness in someone, and I guess, how do you groom greatness out of your people the way you do? Because you do it in a way that you do pull out the best. Fuck, you've pulled out the best in me in a lot of ways, and I don't even work for you. And you do
It's
this. Is that something that your dad kind of did and taught you in that
oh
retail
hell no,
landscape? No,
hell
okay.
no, no.
Okay.
I love my dad, man. I love him more than anything, but that is not his skill set. My dad only knows how to mold with a chisel and a hammer. That's it. You know, look, it's different for everybody. I was really talking about this with my wife this morning because my daughter is becoming competitive. She wants to play competitive basketball. She was inspired, and my oldest, and she's a beast defensively. My daughter was very inspired by my son's basketball season this last year and came to me on a whim and said, I want to play basketball. I said, are you sure, for real? Because partially my fault. I really didn't think as girls to really get him into sports. I should have. My bad. One of my regrets in life. I mean, look, they were in tennis, and I thought that was a good thing for them. But I never really thought about getting them in a basketball or flag football or competitive team sports. But my daughter wanted to do it. Now, my daughter had never played a game of basketball in her life. She doesn't know nothing about organized basketball. And it was really funny watching her first few games. She got a little discombobulated and even shot at her own basket a couple times when she got a rebound and got excited. Thank God she never made a point in her own basket. She missed. But no, do you want to say hi to everybody? Because they've all been listening to you play for the last hour.
It's been amazing.
You might as well say hi. She just came out to take a break. I didn't realize they could hear you because I got these on. Like, who's been playing? Petra? I said, nope, that's my middle daughter. Good. Say hi to everybody.
Oh, sorry.
They can see you.
Guys.
They can hear you.
It's been the best background music.
They said you provided the best background music for the last hour I've been on.
Oh,
and in fact, I would love for you to record something I could play over my unboxings for Smoke Inn. I think that.
Ooh,
I can't hear.
So Ryan, yeah, she can't hear you, but Ryan does unboxings for our Cigar Month Club. So he goes, if you want to record a cool original piece, he'll play that in the background during his unboxings.
Really?
I would love to. I thought it was.
Oh
I
my
thought
God,
it was
that's
a
so
CD.
cool.
I thought it was a CD.
You gotta see one of his videos so I get the theme.
What?
I gotta get a theme. I gotta see one of the videos.
I will send me a link to one of your unboxings. She wants to see it so she could build a musical background for you. So
I appreciate that.
This is a perfect example of idea and execution. I'm not going to ask her 20 times. Now it's up to her to execute and do this.
Hey, let her know that. Let her know that everybody's
have a good
heard
one,
it.
everyone.
Incredible.
Yeah, everybody's been listening and hearing you. So
sorry, I closed the door all the way.
I know, but it's okay. It was a nice background to the show. Thank you.
Don't you apologize at all. You're incredible. Thank you. There you go, Richard. I totally agree. But but back to what you were saying.
Yeah, look. So I had this discussion with my wife because my daughter, unfortunately, her team has only 5 girls. Now, there was a 6th with a broken leg who came in the middle of the season. Nothing against her, but she might as well not come on the team. So my daughter's literally been playing 4 quarters the whole season and burnt. But from somebody who really didn't ever play anything, she's really a defensive beast. This girl's almost hitting double-digit rebound and steals every game. Wow. And she's into it. She's become such a dominant force that there's only 6 or 8 girl teams in the whole league because girls at 15, 16 years old don't want to play basketball. I mean, really, most of them in the Park District. Not like my son's basketball league. There was 16 teams, So they play a lot of the same teams a lot. And literally, she's at the point where the coaches say, hey, number 8, take it easy on us this week, right? So she's really gotten into it. So, we talked about her endurance because endurance is very important in basketball, right? One of the best teams I was on, we were great because we outlasted everybody. In fourth quarter, when they're dying, we're running up and down like it's the first quarter. So, she wanted to get into it. So we kind of put her on a little nutritional thing, a little regimen at the house. Not much. I said, look, you just hit the elliptical. You start small. You hit it for 10 minutes, but do it 10 minutes as hard as you can, to the point where that 10 minutes is not that hard. And then you go to 15, and then some other things and some drill things. And she's not been stepping up to the plate. And I literally had a talk with her. I said, look, I'm here to support you. I'm not here to force you, because if you don't want to do this, what that'll do then is cause conflict between me and you, But my wife hasn't liked this, like, life coaching, because she doesn't get it. My wife never did a sport. She doesn't understand what sport's about. We had to talk about it this morning. It's like, look, I can't do that with every one of my kids, because some will be more sensitive, but my daughter's not. She gets it, and it's something that you feel like maybe is hard, but it's because you don't come from that world. You don't understand athleticism, sports, what it takes, what she needs to take. Because now this is a girl that's coming to me and saying that she wants to take basketball camp in the summer and go out for her varsity team. So as a father, it's my job to help her get on that path. Now, she's not doing what I'm telling her to do or whatever. So that means she's not really ready to make that commitment. So I'm going to back off. And if you're ready and you really want to do it, then you come talk to me. I can't force you to do those things, right? But I can have that adult type conversation with her, which I can't with my other kids. So, do I get upset at wasted talent? It never really hurts me on an emotional level, unless it's my kids, right? You don't want your kids to waste your talent. In the workplace, listen, man, I talk and treat everybody differently. I could ride this person really, really hard because I know he wants to be great, and he doesn't take it personal. He understands where it's coming from. There's other people like I barely can talk to because they're not that guy. Right. They have talent. They're good, but they're not that guy. We're going to have the disconnect like I'm having with my daughter now about basketball. You can't push somebody who doesn't want to get there. They have to want to get there. And then if they really want something and you could help them, you could be that life coach for them. You could be that motivator that I'm going to try to give you the insights that I didn't have when I was where you're at. And maybe you could take advantage of that, which I try to give my daughter all the time. And, and here's a perfect example. She was inspired by my son's thing. So she went to the combine, like, the practice day where all the coaches look at all the girls and they try to figure out who they want to draft. And I could tell on the ride home that night that she wasn't happy. I'm sure she wasn't happy because she felt like she didn't know what the fuck she was doing compared to all these other girls who've been playing for years. She's only coming in the last year she could play in her local park district. And the next day she told me she changed her mind. She didn't want to play. I didn't say shit. I let it simmer for 2 or 3 days. And then we went somewhere and I said, listen, why don't you drive home with me? I want to talk to you. And I said, look, I get it. She was kind of doing track and she kind of thought track was cool because her 2 friends from school do it, but she wasn't going to any competes. So you're going through practice, but you're not getting picked to go to any of the meets, and you feel uncomfortable and you feel like that. But if you want to ask my opinion, I think if you do basketball, you'll love it and you'll really like it. And I can't make you do it, but here's my suggestion. Give me 3 weeks. Do 3 weeks of practice and 3 weeks of games. If you want to quit after that, even though I have a no quit rule, but you're already trying to quit, I'll let you quit. That's how confident I am. And she did. And she loves it. Now she loves it so much that she's really sad when the end of the season's coming. She wants to go to summer camp and basketball camps in the summer. So it's hard, but they're going to, fail. They're going to make mistakes. The kids at their age think they know everything, or sometimes they don't have the discipline to get over their emotional fears. So my daughter wants to go to 2 basketball camps. One is really serious. And it's here in West Palm, but it's like 8 a.m. to 10 o'clock at night. And for an extra $100 for the week, they'll put them up. It's at Palm Beach Atlantic University. They can sleep in the dorms. So I'm telling her to sleep in the dorms. Oh, no, I don't want to sleep over. Why not? You're going to college in 2 years. Are you kidding me? You think the smarter idea is for me and your mom to get up at 6 to start prepping at 6:45 in the morning so you can be there at 7:45 and then come at 10:15 at night and pick you up and then waste 30 minutes coming home and you get 5 hours of sleep? I said, look, you're going to college in a couple of years. You need this experience. So I'm telling you what I would do. I'm telling you what the smart thing was do. And honestly, it's not fair to me and your mom if you really want to be picked up and drive. It's like $100 more per week for you to sleep on the college dorm, and you get ready to go to college in 2 years. So she's like, I'm probably going to do it, but let me think about it. I'll tell you tonight after the concert. So, yeah, I mean, can't force them, you know. But I told her this: if you're not going to sleep over, I'm probably not going to send you to camp because it's just too unrealistic. It's long days. You're going to need that rest. You know, you're going to need that going in rush hour at 8 in the morning. We got to leave early, and then picking up at night. You don't get home by 10:30, 11, almost 11, and then you're going to shower, and then by the time you go to bed, it's 12, and we got to start again 6 hours later. It makes no sense. So if you want to do that camp, you're going to have to do it sleepover, and she's got to make her own decision.
Yeah.
You know?
And plus, let's be honest here. That's where a team is formed. A team is not formed at practice when it comes to camp like that. A team is formed in the camaraderie after the practice, the hangout, the getting to know each other, mannerisms, and all of that. That's where that camaraderie comes in.
Look, at this exact same age, my dad sent me to a football camp in Santa Clara, California. So at the age she's at now, I got on a plane, flew by myself to California for 2 weeks. And if anybody can remember, quarterback Chris Everett, Too Tall Jones from the Dallas Cowboys, Lester Hayes from the Oakland Raiders. I can't remember what other NFL guys were there. Maybe it was 2 weeks of brutality, man. But I came back and I felt great of it. I was in the healthiest shape of my life. I was able to, we were doing up downs at football practice. I could do 80, not get phased. These other guys were dying at 20, 25. Right. It was good. It was a great experience. I dormed it with these guys and stayed friends with them for years afterwards. Some of them I watched play in college. You know, you need this experience, but I get it. You know, as much as we try not to spoil our kids, my kids are a little sheltered. You know, I was taking public transportation at, 12 years old. I was thinking on the Niles free bus probably when I was 10.
It's Chicago, nonetheless.
Well, in Niles, it's suburbs, but
yeah,
we just grew in a different era. We didn't let our kids be exposed to that because we grew up with the knowledge that kids were getting kidnapped, killed, stolen, and you freak out as a parent. So yeah, they did grow up a little bit more sheltered, but we'll see what happens.
No, I agree with you. To be honest with you, I watched a documentary, and I'm sure the whole world has seen it, and I'm just catching up, right? The Last Dance, the Jordan documentary. On Netflix.
My kids all watched it, and they all loved it.
That was fantastic. But one of the things you had mentioned about the body makeup, the build, the endurance of it. The one thing that actually stuck out when you said this, it made me think about that. They talked about when Jordan went to when Jordan moved over to baseball and then back to basketball, he sucked. But what threw me off was the way he had to build his body differently for one sport to another. I guess all my life I've been football, wrestling, weightlifting. I've only ever done a brute-driven sport, so I've never experienced that. But you're 100% right. Like it's a different physical makeup. It's a different training session.
100%.
And I never thought about it like that.
Football, for the most part, unless you're a running back or whatever, you have to be strong for 12, 14 seconds at a time.
Yeah, it's got to be a brick shit house.
Well, what I'm saying is the actual action of a play is 12 or 14 seconds at a time.
Correct.
Then we're all walking back to the huddle. We're waiting to the play. And then, honestly, if you're, if then you get to come off the field for defense. Basketball doesn't have that. Your defense and your offense. And you're constantly running up and down the court, or you pretty much should be. So it's a completely different physiology and endurance game that you need, than football. Not as much brute strength and brute force and getting beat up, but basketball is definitely more of a finesse game, in my opinion.
So I'm curious to hear about what is your no quit rule, because I like that rule. But obviously there's some barriers to it, or not barriers, but there's some obviously, what is that no quit rule?
Well, you can't quit. You start something, you see it through. There's no quitting. You learn from it, and you learn, I don't like this, and you don't do it again. But there's no quitting. Technically for me, that wouldn't have been quitting because you hadn't even got picked on a team yet. but she wanted to quit before that even started. She knew my no quit rule. It wasn't happening once she got on a team and started practicing. This was at the combine. She decided, I don't like this, I want to quit. So, but I was going to let her go because I was confident. I'd rather push her to make the right decision and give her the out in case she really, really didn't like it. But I was confident that she would really, really like it, and then not want to quit.
So, as somebody with a 3-year-old, when do you know enough is enough on the push? Because, let me ask the question a different way. Your daughters are both into violin. It's one of the hardest instruments, stringed instruments to learn, hands down. I have 2 cousins that are very well into. They play with symphonies and orchestras. My uncle is the the music composer for all the VeggieTales movies. His kids are all, and I remember his kids, my cousins, being like, "I just want to quit. I just want to quit. Like, this sucks." How do you keep that perseverance going within them?
Look, you can't make it. It has to be there. So as a parent, you either have to wait for it to really be there. And if it's not there, then you just got to let them stop. And that's just the way it goes. I mean, I'll be honest with you. If one of my kids want to stop playing violin, I won't say which one. I won't say anything. Because there's one of my kids that doesn't practice at all. And I can't make her practice. We tell her, it's one of the girls now, but you can't make her practice. So, you can't force the kids. You have to. Now, what you can do is try to steer them in what you feel is their best direction. Now, Petra, I can't remember what age it was, really came to her mother and I said, I want to quit playing violin. Fuck, man, did we both know that was going to be a mistake? We tried to reason with her and tell her, look, I'm going to tell you something, man. I'm 40-something years old. And I have yet in my life to meet anybody who played an instrument who said out loud, man, I'm glad I quit playing that. It never happened once. But I tell you what, I've heard almost out of every single person, man, I wish I didn't quit taking lessons. Man, that's all I've ever heard. So if you want to look at a 40-year-old person's advice, I've seen every living person regret quitting. That's truth. I don't think you really want to quit. And we tried to convince her, because we didn't want to be those parents, to force her to do something, right? You have to kind of find your own path, but there's a balance in finding your own path and guiding them to what's really best for them. And finding that middle ground is really, really hard, because I don't want to be that parent. You're doing this whether you like it or not. That seldom really pays off. So she still wanted to quit. And my wife and I struggled on this. I remember like 3 or 4 days, maybe even 5 days. And finally I did what I did best. I negotiated. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I talked to my wife about the plan. She liked it. I said, look, here's the thing. I know right now you feel you want to quit. And we don't want to be the parents to force you to do something, but I'll make a deal with you. Because we knew that in 2 more years, she had to audition for the middle school of the arts that she went to before the one that she goes to now, the high school. We said, give it 2 years. We want you to play for 2 more years. And if 2 more years you come back to us and you still feel like this and you want to quit, we will let you quit. We'll say you're making the right decision. But right now, she gave us those 2 more years. And then she got accepted to Bach. And then violin and music became one of the most passionate things in her life. So, we luckily made the right call there and worked it out there, but it's tough, man. It's a tough balance, I mean, you don't want to push them into something that's really not best for them. But if you really feel something, but the worst case scenario at the end of the deal, negotiate and hope that their passion and their reason will catch up with them, and that's what happened with Petra and violin.
So how much, with your daughter going to college, I know something that I've heard a lot of parents, or but I know a lot of parents that do this, is they guide their children into a career path that they want. Do you kind of tweak that to anything, or you let them make that? But would you let them go in and get an art degree or something like that?
I'm the last guy that could do that, because if I listened to my father, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you today.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't be talking to you today. I'd be running a grocery store.
Yep.
So you can't do that. You can't do that as a parent. You can advise, you can give them, but ultimately they gotta live their life with the choices that they make, good, bad, or indifferent. But I tell you what, if you go against what I tell you and you don't listen to my advice, don't come here for bailout either.
Yeah.
You know?
Have you done the signed dollars with your kids?
No, I don't think so. But I haven't posted it yet. But my daughter Zara has one from Steve Saka. You heard it first here on Rocky Mountain Cigar Show.
Oh, please give us a little bit of that insight, please.
I can't remember how she got Zara. I can't remember how she got, but I knew I didn't let her keep it. It's locked in my safe. I'm like, that's a prized possession. We're gonna talk about this one day. But I forgot how she won it from. I don't know where she's at, but I forgot how she won it from. But yeah, she won a signed dollar bill from Steve Saka.
Wow,
Zara.
That is an accomplishment.
Does anybody want to bet the over and under that she even remembers how she won it? This could get very interesting. I know you can't hear everybody.
Okay.
I know you can't hear everybody. Come on. But I was telling them about you. Get lower so they can see you. Wave to everybody. There you go. This is my youngest, Zara. I was telling everybody how you won a signed dollar bill from Steve Saka at the Great Smoke. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember why you won it?
Yeah.
Is it something we could talk about before you talk about it? Because I can't remember why you won it.
Yeah. So we were
Talk louder.
So I was eating fortune cookies.
Uh-huh.
And he said that whoever got the best fortune would win $1.
And why was yours the best?
Because it was just better than his.
Okay, so great win.
Hey,
great win.
Hey, a signed bill from Steve is still a win.
He says a signed bill from Steve is still a win and pretty much an accomplishment. I don't have a signed dollar bill from Steve. Do you know where it is?
Didn't you take it?
I did take it.
You said
good
you
memory.
would frame it.
I did say I would frame it for you. All right, good job. All right, go back to doing what you're doing. Can you give me a bottle of water, please?
Yes,
Thank you, Dad.
Awesome. So now hold on. Is that approved bottled water? Can you have that in your home, or do you have to
fucking right? Shit.
So, well, you know, I love just the whole world, the whole community that you've created around cigars, I feel is really second to none.
Thank you.
I don't think I can tell you this right now. There's maybe a handful of retailers I think the massive cigar community knows, and I think you're definitely in there. I think Smoke Inn is in there. When I talk to people in Colorado, they order from you, like, because they there's exclusives, there's better pricing, like what you have created is incredible, and I am so glad you didn't listen to your dad and went to Florida. I mean, that was like, did you ever remotely?
So is he now? Trust me.
Yes. Oh, I'm sure. I watch it. We all know Raji, and Raji knows everybody too. You know, I get pictured with him anytime I see him. And did you ever remotely expect this level of success?
Nope. And I still feel like I'm the same guy when I was 900 square foot store. Just my reach is more, I guess. But no, I never really thought about it. I wasn't really working to. All I can remember saying so often in my career, how do you even get to that level? I don't understand. How do you become that? I don't understand. And I don't really think I ever really figured out what formula it was. I just kept doing what I do, and it just happened. So it was very organic. It wasn't like, I'm sure I could have done. Look, we're relatively small in the name of the game. I mean, and this is why we kind of like always hope that people spread the word, because there's still a lot of people who are just order numbers to companies and don't really get it. And they're buying from companies and those companies aren't really doing nothing for them. They don't build nothing. All they want to do is just take their money every day, and they're happy with that. And people are happy being an order number, and people just don't know there's another way. And let's face it, not everybody who's a cigar smoker is into the community. I've always been more attracted to the culture than I am the product. I've said that a million times. So what we do is not for everybody. There are people who want to get the cheapest price, don't care about service, don't care about nothing, and sit on the back porch and smoke with their dog alone every day and not really be part of a culture or community. And that's okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's just not what we're doing. And I believe that the majority of the people would prefer what we're doing. They just don't know about it. And we're still relatively small fish. People don't understand, like, the level where we're at, okay, is like here. And then you have all these other levels below us, right? And we're here. And maybe there's a couple people floating right up here. And then the next level is like above the ceiling to my house.
Yeah.
That's the next jump.
But you don't want to be that, because then you don't care about your clients.
It's so ridiculous. No, I don't believe in that either. Because from when we only shipped out freaking 10 packages a month to now where we're shipping out 200 packages a day, nothing's changed. It's a pain in the ass. And listen, I just hired a new warehouse manager. When I told him we write a handwritten note to everybody, he looked at me like I was out of my fucking mind. He goes, "Are you fucking serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." And that's never going to go away. You know, that's never going to go away. Why would you do that? So he's actually in our Smoke Inn Facebook. You guys want to piss everybody off? You guys want to have a laugh here? And there's only like, 20 people on right now. I don't know how many people are watching through YouTube. I can only see the Facebook thing. But I tell you what, our new warehouse manager's name is Rick Nunn. Nunn. Okay? Let's have a little fun. All right. And if anybody else comes on, let some of your friends know and make them do this too. If you're in Smoke Inn Social, don't make it private, because I know he's not watching this, right? But Rick's only been working for me since February. And he came from a place where he had 300 people working under him. And their warehouse was like 200,000 square feet. And everything was concise to the point where, like, they knew this order required 8 steps. But you took 12. Why? I mean, that's how the operation came from. So he was looking at our warehousing. Oh, piece of cake. I can run this piece of cake. And I kind of laughed. I said, listen, I get it. I get where you're coming from. But there's so many different levels of nooks and crannies that we have that you can't even conceive of how we do business. And that's all he's been saying about it. Oh my God, I never saw it. Oh my God. I said, yeah. But that's why we're at where we're at. So he totally gets the letters, because every time there's a post in Smoke Inn Social, I text him the post. So he gets it now, and he gets the customer service, and he's responding a lot of the customer service on his own. He's starting to get the jive of things, but he never had Facebook. And like after about a month of him not getting it, after I told him he had to get it, I did it for him in the warehouse. I made him make a Facebook account. And I said, look, I don't care if you ever post on Smoke Inn Social, but you need to see what our people are talking about. You need to understand the psychology of what our consumer is and our relationship with our consumer. It's not enough for you to just get packages out the door. So he's actually in the Smoke Inn Facebook group. And he'll make comments to me of like, hey, man, I can't believe this. I can't believe these. Well, how much this means to him. I said, yeah, now you're kind of getting it. So he's all on board. He's working slowly into our culture. Everybody tag him. He'll never expect it. Tag Rick Nunn, RICKNUNN, and say, Rick, we love what an awesome job you're doing in the warehouse. The shipping, a little bit there. Just tag him. It'll freak him out. He won't even know what happened.
All right, everybody, we have our orders. Jump on Smoke Inn Social, tag Rick, say what a great job, everything.
Yes. Way to get big.
Know.
Don't tell him we said to do this on the show, but he'll never watch the show. But it'll blow him away. He'll freak out. Let's have a little fun. Everybody, just go make a post and tag Rick Nunn.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's great. So when you're bringing it, because you're right, like you have an operation where somebody coming in from 300 employees would go, oh, this is easy, but you do have a lot of steps, and it's those steps along the way that have differentiated you, that have set you apart, that has, to be honest with you, at this point in time, like when people go, and maybe because obviously Smoke is such a big part of my community and was before ever even doing the show, but what I love so much about it is it's just everybody just seems to truly love the art of smoking cigars and truly love the craft of making them. And you're right, you don't have to be a tobacco geek, but you can be. You could be the every once in a while smoker. You could be the Michelle Pauser of smokers. You know, like it doesn't matter, big or small. We want them all in the community as long as they're going to be good, provide value to the community, and not be a nuisance. That's really what that smoking community is.
I think at the end of the day, it really comes down to even how we live our personal lives, right? We like being around like-minded people. And when I see this, when I say like-minded, it's not like you're always agreeing. Some of my best friends and I don't see eye to eye on a lot of fucking topics, right? But we're like-minded people, if you understand what I'm saying.
Correct.
Right? And that's what we do in our personal lives. And I think that's what I've done in our community. At the end of the day, listen, people don't always agree with everything I do or everything I say or don't get it sometimes, but we've all kind of gathered as like-minded people, whether it be about the cigar culture or how to be a human being or how to be a certain part of society. And listen, and I get it because I've seen people disagree on stuff on Smoke Inn Social and be completely on polar opposites. But in the day, we're still majority like-minded about it. And I think that's what we congregate to. And I think that's what we've done a good job of cultivating at Smoke Inn Social, right? If you don't understand what the Cigar of the Month Club journey is about, then it's not for you.
Correct.
Right? If your goal is I just want to get $3 cigars, or I want to be able to pick my cigars, or they believe some bullshit that this one caters and creates it. No, bro. No one's catering to your tastes. If they have if they got like 10 members, yeah. But you obviously don't know nothing about logistics if you think there's 500 people or 2,000 people in the club and somebody's picking stuff. No, bro. They have like 5 different packs and they send it out and everybody gets something different. They say, yeah, we've curated it to your taste. So, I mean, if you get the journey of what our club's about real exploration, then it's for you. And our club, what we've done in our Smoke Inn Social group, or what we do through our events or the Great Smoke, look, the Great Smoke is special because at the end of the day, really, we're all mostly like-minded people there.
Correct.
We all love,
absolutely.
we love the camaraderie. We love the passion that we share of cigars and smoking cigars, enjoying cigars, and we're gregarious. We want to be around other people like that. So I think that's what makes our group really most successful. We work really hard to keep that, instead of just letting anybody in the group so we could have 15,000 members by now. It's not what we want.
No, I agree. Absolutely. If you're looking for cheap stuff, maybe the Cigar of the Month Club's not for you. But if you're looking for great quality, that's where the Cigar of the Month Club is. And one of the things I've loved about your Cigar of the Month Club, and one of the things I loved about the video that you made, and for everybody that hasn't seen the video that's not part of it yet, just go back into the featured section of the Smoke Inn Social, and you can find it. One of the things that Abe does that I don't know if anybody else that really does is it's not overstock. He actually does pick out cigars for each month. He has, and I'm sure if he was in his office, he's done it on previous shows.
It sits right by my desk. Yes.
He'll pick up the list. So, and I say that because that's so important. It's not cigars that nobody wants to buy that the retailer can't sell, which is what a lot of clubs are. Take it or leave it.
Or they buy something that they'll just put anything they can get real cheap.
Correct.
Right. And that becomes the Cigar of the Month Club. Right. I mean, we've had Davidoff, we had Sin Compromiso, we have a few Dunbar, and we've had, look, here's the deal. We believe our cigar club has such value. We broker a special price. It's the same price we pay much anybody. And if you want to be in it, you in it. But we approach these guys and we want to get good brands. And most of these guys understand the value and exposure and the importance of our Cigar of the Month Club. And it's not just giving us cigars, it's trying to get it out there. Because look, our whole thing is a journey. If you tell me you got 5 cigars you've never smoked before, for me, that's the best Cigar of the Month Club. Correct. Now, it's hard to do because there's so many cigars, but as we have the new stuff coming in, there's always that viability. Like I got an email from somebody, oh, I love this Cigar of the Month Club. 4 of these cigars are my favorite. That wasn't my intention. So the response I literally said was, well, I really hope you enjoy that one you've never had before. That's what it's about. It's about exploration, right? It's about exploration. And we want you to explore without costing you a full fair price, right? So that it's not painful when you got something, that wasn't so great. All right, well, it didn't really cost me full fare, right? So You know,
And
if I'm
it's
getting
about finding old loves.
and it's
Maybe
about
there's an old love.
that's 100% part of it. I can't tell you how many times, man, I haven't had that cigar for 10 years, and I'll run into it somewhere. I'll see it on a show, like, man, let me and I said, why am I not smoking this cigar more? I got inundated with all these 8,000 new brands. I really forgot how much I like this cigar, you
Yeah.
know? So that's the philosophy for our Cigar Love Club. And once again, that might not be for everybody, but for me, that's the type of club that makes the most sense. That's the type of club I want to be in. So I built the type of club that I want to be in, and guess what? We just had our first round of people who have been in the club 60 consecutive months.
Yes,
All right,
Wes, right here, Wes.
60 consecutive months. So when we first launched the club, it was very automated. We had never done it before, so I think we capped it. I think our intention was to cap it at 100, but it went so freaking unexpectedly fast. People signed up. I think we were at almost 150 when we finally were able to shut it off. And thank God we did, because the automation had a lot of bugs in it. So we weren't able to fix those bugs, I think, for 2 to 3 months. And I think August, late July, was finally when we worked all out the kinks, and we opened up the club to anybody who wanted to join. And then the hundreds of people came in August. But the first round of people who got in that first testing of the automation, they had a lot. Listen, like I said, we tried to cap it to 100. So here's a great statistic. We tried to cap it to 100. I can't remember the final number. I think it was like 140, right? Who signed up the very first month we started this. We sent out, I think, 65 people, almost 70 people, their 5-year milestone gift. It means almost fucking half of the people stayed in here every single month since we started. That's a lot.
Wow.
And then you're going to see it. And then you're going to see it. You're going to see, listen, the average lifespan of any Cigar of the Month Club member for any company is 4 to 5 months.
I would believe it.
Okay. And you're going to see a plethora of them hit come August, when we made it open to everybody, and anybody who wanted to join could join.
So obviously you weren't the first to come up with the Cigar of the Month Club, but I do think you have the longest running solid subscriber base, probably at this point.
Yes, I think statistically I can hand down say that our club has the longest average lifespan of a member.
So when you do that, when you accomplish something like, because there's obviously been other people that have feuded with you over Cigar of the Month clubs. No need to express.
No, there hasn't. No, there hasn't. No, there really hasn't. In my opinion, there is not.
Well, correct.
There have been people who have felt that our club was a specific attack on them, which it wasn't. But no.
But when you turn around and you put something like this together, and now you have a huge chunk of 5-year people, like all that hard work, at what point in time in that Cigar of the Month Club did you know it was going to be a success?
I knew it was going to be a success when we turned it on, and like 150 people signed up before I could even say boo.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the consecutive keeping it going, because that's a lot of work.
No, because like anything, look, here's the thing. A lot of my ideas aren't the first. Great Smoke, multi-vendor event, I wasn't the first to do it. But I'm confident in my standards of building something because, like I said, like-minded people. I'm building it for me. The Great Smoke is an event that hopefully one day, I will actually maybe get to go to. You know, but if I was going to go to an event, that'd be the event I want to go to. So, you know, that's how it works. I mean, look, it's always easier to make something better than to create something. And that's the fact of the matter is. I didn't create the first multi-vendor event, but I think I made the best one. You know, I didn't create the Cigar of the Month Club, but I think I made the best one. And, you know, it's always to be, I mean, perfect example, Summer of Saka, right? Started out as a thing 2 years ago.
Blow up.
We blew it up last year. This year, it's even more retarded, right? But everybody's talking about the King Squatch, right? So we have a King Squatch figurine, right? It's our own Smoke Inn exclusive. All these people who have collected all these Saka Squatch figurines now want the King Squatch, and they're all saying how awesome it is, how much better it is. Well, I mean, listen, it's really easy to look at something and say, oh, it would be cooler. And the next time we do it that way, this the guy who does something the second or third time always has got an advantage. For example, NFT, right? We watched the LaFleur NFT, and I was shocked at the results, but I think I made mine better because I felt all the things. Look, they got nothing. I want to make this awesome little package that the NFT holder also gets and whatever. And I'm still working on improvements on that people won't see until maybe late 2025. Literally, it was really just on a phone for an hour a day. So it's just like building retail shops, right? The last one I always do is always going to be the best one because I learned of all the crap I could improve on from the last one I built. So, it's just a natural progression of things. You don't have to be the first, but it doesn't mean you can't do it better than everybody or be the best.
So here in closing, I would like to ask what is Abe's philosophy around taking something and making it better?
I mean,
what is question? What I mean by that is finding how is it visually wise in your mind? How hard is it to see a concept and go, I can make that better and execute?
I don't think my attitude is always going in to look at something to say, how can I make this better? I think I just look at something and naturally says, man, it would just be way cooler. It would just be better. You know what I would like? What would be cooler we could do? And that's just how it comes. But I think certain people are just wired that way, right? Perfect example, I could walk by the soap dispensing machine and I'll walk into a place in the bathroom and it's got 4 months of dust caked on it. How does anybody who worked there not just see that? But not everybody sees things that way. I walk into the warehouse, all I see is shit that's out of place. That's the first thing I see. It's how I live my life. I can't change how I'm wired. I see all the shit that's out of place. And okay, well, why is this here? Okay, we got to go there. So, I mean, I just think it's how some people are wired because I don't get mad at the guy who can't see the dust caked up on the TV for 5 months. I don't understand it. I'm not capable of it. It's the first thing I see when I look at TV, but somebody else looks at that and they see nothing wrong. It's not, I didn't make the universe. It's how people are. I mean, that's just not how I am. It's just, it's funny because it really used to aggravate me in my younger years. Because your just expectation is, how the fuck do you not see that? And I yell at my kids all the time. How the fuck do you just walk by 8 things on the floor and not pick one of them up? How is that even possible? As you get, listen, I want my kids to be better, so you tell them, dude, please. But, as you get older, you just realize, you can't have the expectations of everybody sees things the way you do, and you have to work around that. But I think that's how I look at things. It's not so much I look at something and I say, this has got to be better. How do I make this better? It's just a natural thing. I go to another cigar event. I said, wow, you know what? This is kind of fucked up. You know what they should have done? And I will incorporate that in my next cigar event if I like it. It's just, I kind of do that in everything, I guess. I'll go to a restaurant and say, what's fucked up? They really should do this. I do it all the time. I think it annoys my wife sometimes, so to be honest with you. But I just say there's a better way to do it. I think that's just the way I naturally look at everything. Not the easiest way to live either, but it's how I'm wired. There's no change in that at this point.
Well, I think at some point in time, we will get the Honest Abe book for customer service coming out. And my guess, it'll just say, do better.
You mean the memoirs of customer service emails?
The Honest Abe book of how to make customer service work, because you've definitely figured it out.
Look, here's the bottom line. Once again, it comes down to standards. I want to treat people the way I want to be treated. Some people are willing and accept less of a treatment. So they're never going to give superior customer service because they're willing to take less. their standard of how they should be treated as a consumer is not the same as somebody else. I work hard. I save when I go spend my money somewhere. There's a certain way I want to be treated because that money just didn't grow in my backyard on a vine.
True.
And I have that respect for anybody who shops with us. They're not just finding money in the streets, bro. I mean, let's face it, they didn't just win the lottery last month. I mean, maybe somebody did, but the majority of us know. So when they come to my establishment, whether it's online or in the store, this is a consideration I take, that, you know, these people work hard. And that's why I'm also never the, you know, I see some guys and they're always selling. They're always selling or dry begging or doing something. And it's, look, I will create promos. I will create deals. I will create fun, and I will create excitement. And those who partake. That's the way it goes. Throw it all out there, as much fun, cool shit, and let everybody go to the buffet table, eat as much as they want or as little as they want. That's the way it works. You know, that's just the way it works. I'm not here to you know, I'm having more fun creating the promotions and creating the cool shit. And I come up with it because I'm saying, man, if I was a consumer, this is what I would like. This is what would be badass if I was a consumer, you know, in my industry. And that's just kind of how it works. It's a natural, organic evolution, you know.
No, and you've figured out the ticket, man. You've created some of the best swag. You've really created something unlike any other shop, in my opinion. In the bigger shops, I think look at something like what you have and would rather have that sometimes, because you have a sense of loyalty. There is you. The one thing I could say about a smoking customer is loyalty, loyalty, because of what you've created in that environment.
Look, it's hard, and I understand why certain guys like Jeff aren't from Corona is not as publicly accessible sometimes and whatever, because you really give up a piece of yourself. And when I give up a piece of myself, whether it's doing a podcast now, or my wife just walked in from my daughter's recital, or you know, the great smoke, whatever, my family's sharing me. That's the reality of the situation, you know, but it's part of who I am. It's that part that I really love in the business. So luckily they're understanding of it, but I can understand why people don't do it. And the big companies don't have the time to care about individual people or whatever. They just don't. And it's time consuming. It's a lot of effort. It's tiring. But that's just part of what I love about the business. And that's the way I'll always run it. That's what works for me personally. It doesn't work for everybody.
Well, I can tell you, it certainly fucking works for all the rest of us. So definitely don't stop. Here in closing, though, I would like to ask you a question. I don't think you've ever gotten before, but now that you've got a whole house full of kids, what kid is most like you? And two, what is the trait that you either would love to have your kids take from you or see your kids having from you currently?
Okay, first off, you already asked me the in closing question, so this is now your second in closing question.
Yes,
that's now in triplicate form. So this is not fair.
It is.
So give them to me one question at a time.
What kid is most like you?
On the whole?
On the whole.
On the whole, overall? Petra.
Okay.
Were you able to hear that?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
he said Petra. He said Petra.
You're asking me that question in a precarious.
No, totally. And what is an aspect that you've watched your kids adopt from you over time that you've been proud of?
Respectfulness. My kids are extremely respectful kids. The number one thing that people will comment on my kids, how respectful they are and how courteous they are and how caring they are. And that's just not me. They literally got that from both parents. And no, literally, I mean, my wife is absolutely that way. And
she's incredible.
They got it from both of us. And that's listen, I told them all a long time ago, and they still hear it from time to time. You could be a lot of things in life, but there's one thing you can't be, right? You want to be a slob in your room? Yeah, you're going to get yelled at. We're going to punish you. But then a day, you're going to live the rest of your life being a dirty slob pig. That's on you. You know, you don't want to do your homework. You want to fail at school. You want to get bad grades. Yeah, we're going to yell at you. Yeah, we're going to ground you. But then the day, it's your life. You're not going to get a good job. You're not going to achieve a lot, unless you're lucky. But it's going to make shit a lot harder on you, right? Certain things that you're going to do really affects you.
That's very true.
You want to be a bad human being. You want to be a bully. You want to be a disrespectful little punk. That's a reflection on us. Mm-hmm. That we will not tolerate. You will not be a bad human being in this world. So be a good human being, and you'll slide with all the other shit.
Well, I can say your kids are nothing but respectful in that manner, and you've raised them right. That is very, very true. They're very respectful. And honestly, I was a little taken back by the answer, but I'm also not surprised. Petra's the oldest. She's been with you the longest. She's developed that, and who knows? Maybe the others will show a little bit more. But
they all have different traits that are me. Zane's the more disciplined one. She's very disciplined. I mean, like if I ever said who could really run my business, I really would never worry. It'd probably be her. But as a whole, it's Petra, and like me, she's a very empathic person. I'm empathic. I feel like partially empathic, and my daughter's that way too. We literally can feel other people's emotions. I think that's what makes us very gregarious people and get along with all different kinds of people. I was a starting football player in high school, but I was also in the games club. And you want to know what? No one busted my balls about it. It's a skill I see she has that most reminds me of myself.
Well, as a father, I'm looking forward to seeing my daughter bloom, and at 3, I'm looking very forward. I'm already kind of seeing the stubbornness that both my wife and I have coming out. We definitely know she's our kid, but I'm really looking forward to seeing the additional traits she takes on, and that's just got to be one of the most amazing things as a parent.
The best part. It's the best part. Those 4 are really my greatest accomplishment.
Absolutely. No, I feel the same way about my daughter. Absolutely incredible. And so, well, Abe, thank you so much for the final 3-shot question to end the show. And everybody, please follow. Let's all reach out to Rick Nunn and let's tell him what a great job he's been doing, as well as, guys, we got a lot of exclusives here on the show. So start saving up money. We've got a great November coming up. Abe, we'll set up a release show around that exclusive release. Would love to have you come back on. And as always, brother, from the bottom of my heart, man, you're one of the most important people in my life. You're one of the you're somebody that I'll tell everybody this. If I call Abe, I know I am not calling Abe to get coddled. I've already done that with somebody else. I'm calling Abe for the challenge, the push, and the drive, and constantly making sure that I'm in check. That's what you get, and that's really, really one of my favorite things that I cherish most about our relationship is there's no holding punches. I get told exactly the truth, and there's no bullshit, and we all love that about you in this community. We all love that you are who you are on and off the court, per se. And please just continue the great work. We love the community you've created. And from the bottom of my heart, I love you, brother. And thank you so much for joining us here in the Smoke Inn Studios at the Rocky Mountain Cigar Show. I tell you, I got to make one of the Rocky Mountain Outpost things. I've got to get that done for the back for next year. But from the bottom of my heart, man, thank you for spending the night with us. And what an incredible first hour of the show to have your daughter playing music in the background. That was awesome. That was right. And I'm serious. So I'm going to send her over. I'm going to send you some of those videos. I would love if she would make something I could play it in the background. Awesome. So
if any of them, she'll do it. She'll follow through.
Well, I would much appreciate that. And to all the sponsors that made this show possible, Big Sky Cigars, Cornell and Diehl Pipe Tobacco, La Aurora, West Tampa Tobacco Company, BAMF Cigars, ROCF Cigars, Kristoff Sagrado, and Micallef, as well as Axe in the Oak Bourbon, and Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust, and of course, the namesake of the entire lounge is Smoke Inn Studios. So as always, Abe, thank you for seeing something in this show from the beginning and trusting it. And I look forward to obviously our continued friendship, partnership, and my mentorship under you for many, many years to come. So to all those watching, thank you so much for joining us on a Thursday night. Subscribe to the show if you haven't. Follow us as well and get the word out about Rick Nunn. And smoke what you like, smoke as often as you can, and have a great, great rest of your week. Bye, everyone. Peace.